taxes. Next, direct taxes and indirect taxes. Okay, these are the two common words. Okay, whose difference is there? Okay, direct taxes and indirect taxes. Okay, what are direct taxes and what are indirect taxes? Direct taxes, this burden cannot be shifted. Okay, direct tax burden cannot be shifted to other person, but in case of indirect tax, the burden can be shifted to other person. This is the basic difference if you want to understand clearly. What happens, suppose direct tax example, if I give direct tax example is income tax and all. Okay, a person's income tax, okay, can't be shifted to some other person. Means suppose person A is paying his income tax, okay, he will not ask his income tax from any other person. But indirect tax example like GST, okay, if the producer is paying GST, then he will ultimately charge the GST from the wholesaler will charge it from the retailer, and retailer will charge, ultimately whole burden falls upon the consumer will have to pay the ultimate amount of whole amount of GST on those goods. Okay, so in case of indirect tax the burden gets shifted on, okay, but in case of direct tax the burden does not get shifted. Okay, more bases are there difference. First, direct taxes are these taxes are levied according to the ability of taxpayer. This is a tax in which tax paying ability of taxpayer is assessed indirectly. In the direct taxes, basically it is levied according to the ability. Okay, how much is the ability, and according to that taxes have to be paid. But in case of indirect tax, it's not like that. It does not depend upon the ability of the payer. Okay, but in case of direct tax, it depends upon the ability. Direct taxes are directly paid to the government by the person on whom it is imposed. Indirect taxes are paid to the government by one person, but the burden is borne by the other person. I said in the beginning, in case of direct taxes on whose the burden is imposed, he will only pay, and his burden cannot be shifted to another person. He can't ask the money from any other person. But in case of indirect taxes, the burden gets shifted. Okay, if you have paid the indirect tax, you will charge it from other, means you will pass on the burden to some other person. Okay, this happens in case of indirect taxes, but it does not happen in case of direct taxes. Merits. What are the merits of direct taxes? See, economic. Direct taxes are economical in the sense that the cost of collection of this tax is very low. Economical in nature means the cost of collection of these taxes are very low. Economical. Okay, means the same officers will assess and will collect the tax. Okay, there is no separate officer. The same officers will assess the small income of properties and can also assess large income. Okay, same officers are there. They will assess small income, income and small properties also, and they will also assess large income and large properties. Second, equity. Direct taxes are based on the principle of ability to pay. So the burden of direct tax is equitably distributed on different people. They fall. Yes, direct taxes are equitable in nature, means rich persons have to pay more income tax, poor person have to pay less income tax. This is based upon this principle. Okay, the person whose income is above 2,50,000, they will have to pay the tax in our country, but the person whose income is less than 2,50,000 yearly, they are not liable to pay any kind of income tax. Means on rich is charged huge amount. Okay, rich persons have to pay huge amount of tax, while poor people whose income is low, they don't have to pay any tax also. Okay. Certainty. Direct taxes are certain. The taxpayer knows how much tax is due from me and when, so he can adjust income and expenditure. The government also knows fairly well the amount of revenues coming to it by the way of direct taxes can adjust. Yes, it is certain in nature. Okay, how much income, how much tax you have to pay, according to how much income, how much tax you have to pay. Okay, you know that. Okay, it is certain in nature. Government also know that fairly how much amount of tax they will be getting in the form of direct taxes. Okay, according to the tax, okay, the persons can adjust his income and expenditure. Okay, direct taxes are, that's why, certain in nature. Elasticity. Another merit of direct taxes is that they are based on canon of elasticity. This tax is elastic in nature, as the government revenue can be increased by raising the tax rates in times of crisis. Moreover, the yield from direct taxes goes up automatically. Yes, elastic in nature. If government wants more amount of money, okay, more amount of fund, so what they can do, they can increase the rate of taxes and they can get more amount of revenue from direct taxes. Moreover, if the person income increases, then automatically what will happen? Automatically he will be paying more income tax. Okay, so it is elastic in nature. Okay. Civic consciousness. Direct taxes create a spirit of civic responsibility among the taxpayers, since the taxpayers provide the fund from their own pocket. Yes, it creates a civic responsibility, civic consciousness in the minds of the taxpayers. Why? Because from your own pocket you have earned a hard-earned money in the whole year, and from that you are giving a certain portion to the government. So you are getting more aware. Okay, if you see any kind of waste means any kind of public expenditure which you think that is unnecessary, you feel a little bit sad about it. Okay, why? Because you are also a citizen of the country and you have paid taxes, and your tax money is used in the wrong way. Okay, you feel a little bit sad. Okay, you are more civic, more civic conscious. Okay. Reduction in inequalities. As direct taxes of progressive nature, rich people are subject to higher rates of taxation while the poor are exempted from direct. Hence, these taxes help to bring, yes, it helps in removing inequalities. Okay, the rich people have to pay more tax, whereas poor people have to pay less tax. Okay, then this what will happen? Government takes more amount of money from the rich people. Okay, and that money is utilized to provide free healthcare facilities in government hospital, free education in government schools and all, proper roads and all. That money is utilized, and that facilities are used by basically by the weaker sections of the society. Okay, so it helps to reduce inequality. Okay, from rich they are taking more amount of money. Okay, so that the disparity does not get enlarged. Okay, they are charging more amount of rate of tax from the rich. Okay, so I have to equalize. Okay, this disparity between rich and poor they want to end. Next, demerits. What are the demerits of direct taxes? Unpopular. Since these taxes are directly imposed on people and cannot be shifted into others, they are painful. Yes. Unpopular in nature means most people try to evade it. Okay, because they have to pay this money and they can't shift this burden to someone else. Due to which these taxes are very painful. Okay, from taxpayers' point of view, it is very painful. A whole year you have worked so hard, and after that at the end of the year you have to pay a certain amount of money to the government. Okay, so it is very painful from the taxpayer's point of view. Inconvenience. The main drawback of direct tax is that they cause a lot of inconvenience to the taxpayer. The taxpayers have to maintain accounts to the satisfaction of tax authorities and to subsidies. So a lot of time consuming process. Okay, you have to make your statement of accounts. Okay, you have to submit it to the authorities for the assessment purpose. Okay, sometimes the taxpayers have to pay the entire amount of tax in one installment. Hence these taxes are inconvenient. Entire tax amount you have to pay at one time. Okay, in one installment. So it is very inconvenience from the taxpayer point of view. Possibility of evasion. There is a chance of evasion. Means people are trying to evade it evade the money in the form of black money, which we call as black money. Okay, they are not ready to pay the tax. Okay, they are trying to hide it, not hide the money. Okay, in various forms. There is always a great positive tax evasion. These taxes are calculated on the basis of honesty of taxes. In India, there is a large scale of evasion. Yes, so India we see basically various raids are done by the income tax departments. Okay, to catch hold of those persons who have evaded the money. Okay, who have hidden those money in their house or in various places. Okay. Uneconomical. Direct taxes are often expensive to collect. The cost of collection is particularly heavy when the number of taxes. India is such a big country. Okay, so many people are there. Okay, so in such a with a huge population, it becomes very difficult for the tax authorities. Okay, to keep a check upon them. Okay, and it is very cost of collection of this tax is also huge. Okay, in such a large country. Okay, you have to appoint many officers and all. Okay, the cost of collection for this is also huge. Arbitrary. It is argued that direct taxes are arbitrary. The rate of taxes depends upon the whims of the taxation authority, not on the ability. Yes, the government will decide what will the rates of tax. Okay, we can't decide. Okay, according to the government, we have to follow those. Whatever rate they have fixed, we have to follow this. Okay, it's not like upon our ability to pay. I am ready to pay this much amount, to government will accept. No, whatever the limit government has said, according to that I have to pay. I have to comply with that. It's not like that my wish is to pay only this much amount, 1 lakh or 2 lakh, the government will accept. No, according to my income, government has fixed a limit. Up to certain limit tax you don't have to pay tax, and after that limit you have to pay the tax at the prescribed rates which are given by the tax authorities. Narrow in scope. Direct taxes generally imposed on the rich people. Low income group people cannot be approached. So these taxes in this way they have the limited. Yes, narrow. Every people, okay, every citizen of the country is not paying direct taxes. Okay, only those people whose income is above a certain limit, like 2,50,000, they are only liable to pay the tax under this direct taxes. Okay, means income tax. Okay, remaining people are not liable. Okay, so narrow in scope means you are not able to collect the money from each and every citizen of the country. Only few people of the country are paying you money in the form of direct taxes. Example, income tax. Okay. Now, indirect tax. We are moving to next topic is indirect tax, that is merits and demerits of indirect taxes. First merit, convenient. Indirect taxes are more convenient than direct taxes. They are paid in small amounts at intervals instead of in lump sum. They generally, yes. Indirect taxes are basically included in the price of the products. Okay, they are included in the price of the product. Okay, you don't have to pay in the lump sum amount. Basically, when you purchase goods, in that only it is written inclusive of all taxes. Okay, you are purchasing any kind of goods. Okay, in that only the indirect taxes included along with the price of the product. Indirect taxes are included. Okay, so it is very easy. You don't have to. Basically, in that case, what happens in case of indirect taxes? You don't, it is not very painful. Why? Because the money is not directly going from your pocket. Suppose you're purchasing a biscuit or a packet of chips, whatever you're purchasing, in that you're paying 5 rupees. You don't know out of 5 rupees 2 rupees or 1 rupee is supposed as tax money. So you're not knowing that 1 rupee will be going as tax. You're purchasing at 5 rupees, you think the 5 rupees is the price of the product, but out of that 5 rupees a certain amount of money is the tax money which will be going to the government. Okay, that is indirect tax. So it is not very painful, but in case of direct tax it is very painful because you have earned the money, you have got the money in your pocket, and now you are taking out the money from your pocket and giving to the government. So that is more painful. But in case of indirect taxes, what is happening? It is taken away from you, but you are not letting to know, means you are not getting to know also, okay, that you are paying taxes. White coverage, yes, indirect tax, white coverage means either rich or poor, all of them, okay, have to pay this tax. It's not like that rich will pay more and poor will pay less. It's not like that. If a rich person is also purchasing a goods, then he is also paying the same amount of tax when that good is purchased by a poor person. Okay, so both are paying the same amount of tax. Okay, it is not like that a rich person is paying more and the poor is paying less. That was there in the case of direct tax. In direct tax, the rich whose income is more is paying more amount of income tax, and the poor person whose income is less is paying lesser amount or no tax. Okay. Equity, indirect taxes can be made equitable by imposing heavy tax on luxury goods consumed by the rich consumer and tax on Asian. It can be made equitable by imposing heavy tax on luxury item. Luxury item basically purchased by the rich people. Okay, so luxurious item, more amount of tax can be imposed. Okay, so that rich people those who purchase them, okay, they can afford. Okay, whereas on essential commodity which are purchased by each and everyone, okay, on that no tax should be charged. Okay, why? Because it is necessary item. Each one purchases, either rich or poor. The poor will not be able to pay such large amount of tax. So on essential commodities, less amount of tax should be charged. Elastic. Indirect taxes can be made elastic and productive, particularly when they are imposed on essential goods. The government can obtain adequate tax revenue by increasing the tax rates on such commodities. However, will this go against the canon of equality? How indirect taxes can be made elastic? If government increases the taxes on essential commodities, why? Essential commodities are purchased by each one of us, okay, and in that case what will happen? If government increases, all will definitely purchase because it is an essential commodity, and if all are purchasing, what will happen? Ultimately government revenue will increase, but that will be against the canon of equality. Okay, to raise the government's revenue, government is simply just increasing the tax. What? It will not be a good sign, okay, because poor people who are not able to whose income is not so much, okay, they will not be able to purchase and they will suffer. No evasion. Indirect taxes can't be evaded. Why? Because if you are purchasing a product, in that only taxes are included. Okay, you can't evade it. In case of direct taxes, you can evade, you can hide the money. Okay, but in case of indirect taxes, no such thing is happening. Why? Because the tax amount is already included in the price of the product. Check on consumption of harmful commodities. On harmful commodities, heavy amount of taxes can be imposed so as to restrict them from being consumed by the people. Okay, so it can be a good option for checking the consumption of harmful commodity like wine, opium, etc. On these things, government can charge huge amount of taxes because these are high hazardous, means harmful in nature. Okay, on these products, government can charge huge amount of tax so as to restrict the people from using this. Protection against foreign competition. By imposing import duties, domestic industries can be protected from foreign competition. Yes, government can impose import duties. With the import duties, what will happen? The foreign goods prices will rise. Okay, foreign goods prices rises, then what will happen? Our domestic goods prices will be low comparable to foreign goods, due to which what will happen? People will be ready to buy domestic goods instead of foreign goods. So by increasing the import duty, charging heavy amount of import duties, what will happen? Foreign goods will not be sold in the sold in the domestic market, and more demand will be created of domestic goods, it will boost up the domestic industries of the country. What are the demerits of indirect taxes? Demerits, disadvantage also you can say. Regressive. The main drawback of indirect tax is that they are regressive in nature and hence unjust. They fall on all persons indiscriminately. Direct taxes are progressive in nature and these are regressive in nature. Indirect taxes are regressive. Why? Because in case of direct taxes, what it was, the person whose income is more, they are paying more tax. Whose income is less, they are paying less or no tax. But in this case, what is happening? Whose income is more, he is also paying same amount of tax, and whose income is less, he is also paying same amount of tax. That is, it is regressive in nature. Okay. Next point, no civic consciousness. As you are not able to know that you are paying taxes, you are not aware, okay, when you are paying the tax, due to which what is happening, you are not more conscious. Okay, in case of direct tax, what is happening, money is going out from your own pocket, you are more aware. Okay, you are, if you see any kind of public expenditure which is wasteful, okay, you feel guilty, you feel little bit sad. Okay, but in this case, what is happening, it is not directly going from your own pocket, it is going indirectly, due to which you're not so civically, you're not so aware. Okay, no civic consciousness is created among the taxpayers. Uncertain. And the great demerit of index is that they are extremely uncertain. Taxes on goods with elastic demands are very uncertain. When commodities fixed at market price rises, which results in lower demand, so it's quite difficult to answer. Yes, in this case, what it is, uncertain. If suppose government tries to increase the tax to gain more revenue, what will happen? Government has increased the tax so that they can get more revenue. But what will happen when the tax rate has been increased? It can happen that demand of the product will fall. Why? Because if the tax rate has been increased, what will happen? The price of the product will rise, and if the price of the product rises, okay, then what will happen? The demand will ultimately fall, which will lead what? Government is not able to generate so much revenue. Okay, so it is uncertain in nature. Discourage savings. Indirect taxes discourage savings as they increase in price. People have to spend more on commodities, they discourage savings. Yes. It is increasing the price, so people are spending more amount of money to purchase goods and services, so their less amount of money is being saved with them, so that less amount of money is left with them, which they can use it for saving purpose. Okay, so it discourages savings. Inflationary. Indirect taxes tend to be highly inflationary. The imposition of indirect tax on commodity increase the market prices. Increasing the price leads to a rise in the cost of living, as a result of which trade unions demand higher wages to maintain the real income of the worker. Thus, indirect tax will lead to any. Yes, what is happening in case of inflationary nature means, as the prices of the product rises because of increasing tax, what will happen? The workers will not be able to purchase those products. Okay, price of goods rose means what? The workers, okay, they are not able to purchase those products. They will ask for increasing wages. Okay, when they will ask for increasing wages, producer will let them. Producer will suppose producer increase their wages, then what will happen? Cost of production increases. If cost of production increases means what? Ultimately the price of the product again it will rise. So it is like a cycle, goes on. Okay, price of the product rises, the workers are demanding more amount of money and the form of wages. When they are demanding more amount of money in the form of wages, what will happen? The cost of production will rise. If cost of production rises, ultimately again the price of the product will also rise. Okay, so it's just like a cycle which continuously moves on. Okay.